Daniel Jeremiah came out with his first mock draft today, and he gave the Niners not an offensive lineman or a quarterback, a tight end, Kyle Pitts, who's a freaking stud. I love Kyle Pitts. He might end up being the best non-quarterback from this draft. He's really good, but he's not an offensive lineman and he's not a quarterback. Now, the reason Daniel Jeremiah went with Pitts is because the top 4 guys were gone at this point. He went Wilson 2, Lance 4, Fields 8, and they were out. So are you cool with Pitts if those 4 guys are off the board?
Mav, I go.
Yeah, I can start off. I think I saw that he had Penei Sewell at 10. So, I mean, I know there's no trades in mock drafts usually, but if there's an offensive lineman at 10 and the Niners can go grab someone like Sewell or Slater, I would seriously consider that. But if there are no trades and Pitts is the best available, I think he is worth a pick, but I don't know if he just fits what the Niners need. I like picking the best player available, and Pitts probably would be at that range. But to pass up all the cornerbacks and to pass up all the offensive linemen, that I think doesn't really help the Niners in the short term.
Pitts is a unnecessary luxury. That's the way I see it. They're not in a position where they can draft best player available right now when you look at all the free agents set to hit the market. So that move of selecting Pitts does not make a whole lot of sense to me. The fanboy in me would love to see it because he's a very exciting weapon. And who doesn't like to see an exciting offense? You look at the Kansas City Chiefs and all the skill position players they have flying around all over the field. It would be exciting, but it's just not the correct move. Drafting Pitts does not make them more of a championship contender than addressing the offensive line, the edge rushing position, or the secondary.
Yeah, it's enticing because I really love that prospect. I think he could be a Hall of Famer. Like he reminds me of Travis Kelce with speed and maybe even a little bit better of a blocker too. He was always open when he was playing. It's like Trask could have thrown to him every single time. But again, if they took him, it would be like last year, drafting to improve a strength rather than address a weakness. And they can't do that. Their offensive line is way too much of a liability for them to be adding on to strengths. That's the kind of thing you do when your team is set, and they're not. They're in denial if they don't take an offensive lineman. I mean, if they go into the draft with the same exact offensive line as last season, and they don't really address it, I don't know what they were looking at. So no, you can't do it. Maybe there's a scenario, and real quick, I'm starting to think that it's not a certainty that Trent Williams is coming back. That's a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like the Buckner thing. Like, yeah, you're great, but if we bring you back, we have to say goodbye to a whole hell of a lot of people. If we let you go, though, we can bring back Ferret, Tart, all these people we want to bring back. So maybe they let Williams go, sign like the third best left tackle in the market, sign a center, and actually or a guard who can play tackle. And now you're in a position where you could take Kyle Pitts at 12. In that case, maybe you could do it. I don't know. You have to get creative about it, though.
Definitely.
A bunch of starters in free agency, which is tough.
You better get comfortable with Alejandro Villanueva then if you're going free agent route. I think they got to draft someone if they don't get Trent Williams for that left tackle.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been jumping on Alejandro Villanueva this year, and maybe he had a bad PFF score, but this other website that I use that Josh Dubow of Associated Press told me about, Sys Data Hub, had him ranked very high in 2020. So I don't know.
I don't know how the stats work on that, but Pittsburgh, I think, had the quickest time to throw this year, so that might have helped him. He's a good left tackle, but I think the market will drive his price up, and I think just the benefit of having Williams. But like you said, if Williams is $26 million or $24 million,
this guy's 10 less. Something to think about. Because you're taking a step down at left tackle, but the money you save gives you a starting center. So would you rather have Trent Williams or 2 starters? Because if you have Trent Williams, you might have a backup level player like, Hronis Grasu.